Borders are closing. Sporting events are being cancelled. The planet is shutting down. To date, 38 South Africans have tested positive to the virus. They've since been quarantined. This morning, more than 100 citizens who tested negative have been repatriated from Wuhan in China. The ANC says the president may address the nation after the cabinet meeting.
We're hoping that the president himself will today, possibly or Sunday, speak to the people about where things might go to. Containment is not something that we are looking at the moment. You only look at that when you have a community involvement of the disease, and that hasn't happened in our country as yet. However, having said that, obviously we are concerned that care is given to discussing every possibility and every thing that has to be done to avoid spreading of this disease.
Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula says it's the first time in history that an urgent weekend cabinet meeting has been called in democratic South Africa.
And if there are drastic measures and decisions to be taken on coronavirus going forward, they will be announced by the designated minister. And government insists with this matter 24/7. It is.
The DA has called for people traveling from high-risk countries to be self-quarantined.
We would expect as a Democratic Alliance to hear a few things from President Cyril Ramaphosa. Number one, we would expect to hear that travelers coming from high-risk European countries will have to undergo mandatory self-quarantining so that we can be able to see whether or not, while they've landed in South Africa while being asymptomatic, we need to be able to see whether or not they have been infected. Almost 99% of the cases that we've seen in South Africa thus far are people who've come from high-risk countries or from the European continent.
The EFF has called for a travel ban.
We also call for a ban in terms of traveling, especially for the countries in Europe, as we know that those countries have been identified as those that have the highest cases of the coronavirus. Therefore, the state, for it to curb more infections and the spread of the virus, they have to put all the systems in place.
It's crunch time for the country, with other countries in virtual shutdown. What will Cabinet propose when the sun rises tomorrow? Samkele Masego, SABC News, Johannesburg.